Its origin is found in Sufism, the mystical heart of the Islam faith. It's enriched by ancient symbols, the V's, up on the cross, and everything like I said there. So that's pretty fun stuff. Then I also, let's jump to one that I didn't bring. Let's do something a little bit more. I think we're going to move on to the Anunnaki next, which is a Sumerian one. You know, the Anunnaki were in lore, in legend, actually in history, and on their texts, the Anunnaki were the ones who fell from heaven and set up their civilization, taught them reading, writing, math. The Sumerians were the first ones to do just about everything. I mean, our civilization, people think our civilization is based on Greece, and Greece, and the Romans borrowed it. But in actuality, the Egyptians and the Babylonians all got it from the Sumerians. So in this one we see the Anunnaki. I'm going to give you a quick overview. Of course you can see the moon. Yeah. And then the person on the left, there's some dots right there. There's 7 dots. That represents the Earth. The other figure has, I think, a 6-pointed star. It's either 6 or 5. I can't see it from here. But that represents Mars because they counted the planets inwardly from Pluto. So Pluto would be the 9th, Mercury would be number 1. Okay. So, it would be Mercury, Venus, they'd count them, no, Mercury would be, Pluto is number 1.
Yes.
Yeah, no, Pluto's number 1, okay. Which is in the Sumerian star charts how they even knew that Pluto existed when we just finally discovered it in 1939, and it's right sitting there in their star charts, and if you ask them or you research their books, hey, how did you find this? Oh, it was the Anunnaki that gave them the star charts. Now we see what we got. The 2 fishes represent the age of Pisces, and again we've got the fish again. And then some people, and the moon is close to the Anunnaki, which were their gods. There's one god on Earth, one god on moon, on the Mars, in other words, and then a spaceship is transversing the distance. And there's a little escort saucer there. So this is kind of, a lot of people, Zecharia Sitchin and followers like that, will point to this. And you see things in there besides the Pisces. Behind the guy on the left is the flaming sword, which is the sword that blocks our way back to the Garden of Eden. So there's a lot of this symbol is like 2,500 BC. Wow. So this was long before Abraham was even born. He left the city of Ur from Sumeria before he was a priest in Sumeria. So this is pre-Hebraic, and there's symbols, all kinds. And you see the moon up there. The moon is this feminine symbol on top of that, and it's like, you could almost envision it as horns.
Wow.
See how the moon is? So this is a pretty neat one. People like this one. I like it because, I like the UFO thing and the Anunnaki.
It's fascinating.
It's fun stuff, yeah.
Well, so, what about, go ahead. No, you go ahead. What are the 7 dots representing the Earth?
Because you counted from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is Earth, yeah, and Mars is 6, yeah. So and then going, Venus would be one less going inward, yeah.
And then Mars,
yeah. So let me see which one should we go. Should we stay on the UFO kind of stuff, or should we move on?
I find it fascinating. Yeah, let's do it.
Or should we go back to the goddess one? Okay. All right. Let me see what else I've got. Let's go to the next one we're going to do. When we get into the Native American lore, there's a lot of like the Chiquina dolls, and we'll do the Starman. He's like the Hopi Starman. And a lot of the Native American lore, again, when you get back to it, it was the sky gods that came from Quetzalcoatl, this feathered flying serpent. It just runs through North, South, and Central America. So the sky gods would be the Hopi Starman. I've got him listed. He's got like a moon's head. See how it's got the moon head? That's the same moon as the Sumerian one. He's got the 4-pointed star and an energy snake. Now, a snake is always affiliated with energy. So if the water, if there's sunlight and water, then it's going to like transduce the sunlight and have life-supporting energy, which is kind of strange how some scientists actually get that way too. Now, so we see the moon, a cosmic energy snake, and the star above his head, and then off his right-hand shoulder, some people say it's a comb, some say it's a traditional rattle, but to me the thing looks like it's a UFO
exactly
skipping off into the sunset.
That's what I was thinking it was.
A really messed up jellyfish now. I'm just
Oh, there he goes. He brought it up again. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, it even has like little contrails, and there's a window there, and that one is
Yeah, I
real.
think it looks like a UFO.
Hey, I mean, we've got the sun, I've got the moon, the stars, and a UFO, and an energy lightning bolt thing. So we've got the elements of the sky
There you go, exactly.
all in that guy's head there. Yeah. So I like that one.
I like it too.
I don't have that one. I think that's about 1200 AD in Arizona. And here's another one we've got, which is, this is Anazai, I think how you pronounce it. This one is pretty neat. Let me see what camera. We had that camera, yeah. This one's pretty neat.
It is.
What we've got on this one, let me pull back a little bit. Right there. Okay, about there. See, we've got, that's it. Okay, great. These are good. What we've got is we've got two, again, the four-pointed star. Now, these are I forgot the name of the guys that, they're all over North America, but they've got these big bug eyes and no nose, a little nose and no mouth, and they're everywhere, and they're real tall. So these eyes are very parallel. And I mean, it's obvious that we've got stars, and it looks like they've got a fiery contrail coming down. One guy's already made it. He's already landed, going, "Hi, I'm here." And the other guy looks like he's either got claws or some sort of landing gear or some sort of mechanical apparatus.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is like Arizona, about 900 AD.
See.
So are they just finding, I'm sorry, we always have.
No, I know. We always,
at the same time.
I was just going to say, like, I just find it so fascinating that, you know, a lot of the UFO stuff, and I can't wait to get to that one.
We'll do that
I'm
one
very
next.
fascinated by, like, it's just so, like, people think this is such a recent thing since the 1950s, but it's been around for a very long time.
Apparently the rock art, I mean, there's always some of the, anthropologists will say, no, they were just all high on hallucinogenics and, and they just painted these visions. But on the other
Even
hand,
if they did that, who's to say that that's not actually something that happened?
There you go.
I know, well, the thing is, like, even the
Spirit world.
ayahuasca shamans to this date, where they have that DMT that slides into the receptor gaps in your dendrites, and it accelerates this, molecular harmonic, and these guys see all kinds of things to this date. They pierce the veil, and they see entities, and who knows what's on the other side of what we see. But it happens today, so, and then they write it down, they scratch it in a rock.
And that's what I was going to ask. Like, a lot of these they've just seen, like, they don't know exactly what it means. They just see them painted, or they just see the symbols. But a lot of these actually have written histories and things like that. Like the Sumerian one had
Absolutely,
written
yeah.
stuff, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, me not being any more familiar with it than I am, I just didn't know if he actually had, like, written histories.
Well, the Sumerians actually invented writing. As a matter of fact, they used these cylinder seals, and I think I have a photo of one where they would take and they carve it in reverse on stone, soft stone, and they would carve the message on a seal, on a round cylinder. And then when you laid the clay out like this and rolled the cylinder, you'd be able to print them. So you go zoom, zoom, zoom. So there's
that?
exactly. See?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good job,
So
Sean. You're
now-
rocking in there. He is. He's on it.
And not only did the Sumerians invent actually printing, but they agriculture, irrigation, all kinds of, even their number system. Instead of counting by tens, they counted by sixes. It's called sextesimal. So it'd be 6, 12, then 12, 18, 24, 60, and that's why we have 12 as a dozen. See, we don't have 1 teen, 2 teen, 13, 11, and 12 are their own number. 12 inches in a yard, right? And there's 12 months to the year. When you get to divisibles of 60, 360, 360 is when the 6 comes full circle in their counting. And, we have 12 on a jury, so we still are using a lot of the, so like I said before, we are really based on Sumerian civilization that went to Babylon and Egypt, and then it made its way to Greece, Rome, and then up through Europe with the Catholic Church as they went through Europe. So that spread out that way. So enough of the Sumerians, they're past history.
But as far as the Native Americans, like a lot of
They didn't have writing a lot,
They didn't
see?
have writing.
Some
A lot-
did, some did though, but
Did they?
they discounted it a lot because a lot of times the first thing that happened was whatever writing they had was immediately destroyed. Because a lot of their mythology and a lot of their stories and myths, they was like, well, this guy sounds a lot like Jesus Christ.